Hello, welcome to another video. I know that I am kind of playing catch up right now. I swear to God, my dad moved and it just completely threw me off the schedule. So now I feel like everything is delayed and it's so annoying. But I hope that this video is coming out on a Monday. It should, not at the time I want it to be, but it is coming out. So I swear to God, I'm catching up with my upload schedule because I know that I got a lot of new subscribers recently. So just know, I normally post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's just been really hectic at the time. I kind of blew up a little bit. But anyways, for this video last week, I did a video where I drew Flins from Genshin in my sketchbook. And I actually really like that drawing. And I was like, okay, I totally want to digitalize this drawing. So I thought that that's what we would do this week. So I basically just took a photo of the actual drawing from my sketchbook and I uploaded it to Clip Studio Paint, which is my preference of drawing programs or whatever. And then I just started working on converting it. The pen I'm using is called like a, it's like a it's called Softify. I'll try to put up in the screen right now. It's called Softify. It's only available through the Clip Studio Asset Store. But if you're thinking about wanting it on another program, I'm pretty sure it's just a hard round brush with lower opacity. So the opacity is at 100%, and I think it has a bit of blending. Maybe, I'm actually not quite sure because I don't use it for coloring, but it feels like it might do a little bit of blending. But anyways, at the very least, it's really just the hard round brush, a little bit softer, and it doesn't have full opacity. So I really like it since I can kind of do the sketch at the top of the line art. But this was weird since I didn't really have a sketch to work off of. I usually kind of do it like my lines end up more, I feel like, sketchy because I'm working off of a base sketch that I'm just refining. But since this is just converting an already finished drawing into a digital piece, the lines are a little bit cleaner than I feel like I normally would. And I also do this thing where I think some people have noticed, but I add an outline to the character at the very end, or at the end when I'm done with the line art. I just make the outline thicker as well as the face. And like if you had like a hand, like if you could see one of his hands, I probably would have made his hand thicker as well. I think I made his neck thing thicker and maybe like his coat a little bit. But yeah, I really like the way it came out. The line art definitely took longer than I thought it was going to take, but it did come out pretty nice overall. Like I said in the last video, I definitely struggled with like figuring out what was going on with his outfit, and I don't think it's a perfect representation, but it's close enough. I thought about fixing it for this one and I didn't. I was gonna go and fix some small details, but I really just didn't have time, and also I was just really lazy. I did not feel like doing that, but I'm still super happy with how it came out. But anyways, I think I spent like so long on just turning it into line art because Genshin, I love detailed character designs, but my god, are they a pain in the ass to draw sometimes. He has so many details. I'm like, oh my god, I had to like keep track of all of them. I had to redraw all of them after I'd already drawn it once. So that was really annoying. But overall, like, it came out fine. The line art came out fine. Before the rendering, this was definitely pretty interesting because I've been doing so many art style studies recently that I really don't know what to expect for the rendering now, because I feel like that's the part of my art style that's kind of like evolving the most. So it kind of feels like it's very in a transitional period where I really don't know what I'm doing for the rendering. I'm trying like all these different things. So when I finally got to the rendering portion, I really didn't know exactly where to go. I decided to go with cell shading for a couple of reasons. At least I first went with cell shading for a couple of reasons. Number one, it just felt like it would be easier to do than trying to do painting on top of everything else, just because I rendered this like Sunday and like I finished it Monday morning. So you like I literally finished this the day that it's supposed to upload. So the rendering is a bit, it's just like Genshin outfits are just like so detailed that doing like a painterly rendering is like I definitely got more comfortable with it, but still very much like takes a lot of brain power. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to mess with that style of rendering right now, or if I should just go with cell shading, which is what I'm really used to. So I was like, maybe I'll just go with some cell shading. So I kind of just went with cell shading at first. And I did go through the entire thing. I did cell shading, which really just means usually when I do cell shading, I usually use 2 to 3 layers. It kind of depends. But the 2 layers I use is usually both set to multiply, and I bring down the opacity somewhere. It usually ends up below 50%, but it really depends. If I want it to be like a really dark scene, then obviously the opacity will be higher. But I feel like anywhere like below 50% is more normal. And then I either use a purple or a red. I kind of like the way red looks, but or I like the way purple looks and red. But considering that his whole color scheme is like blue-ish black and like a bit of purple, I figured that using purple here just made the most sense. It went with his color scheme much more. So I did that. I do it in 2 separate layers. So I do the first round, which is like where all the shadows are supposed to be. And then the second round is what I use to do even deeper shadows. I guess if I really wanted to, I could do like a third round to get even darker shadows. But it does add some depth. So the original drawing, if you didn't see the last video, he was supposed to be holding his lamp. And his hand looked really fucked up. And I didn't feel like fixing it here either. And also, I kind of liked the graphics I added like in front of him, which even if I drew his hand and the lamp, you wouldn't be able to see it because the graphics would be in the way. So instead, what I did was I added a little kind of like ball of light on a add glow layer. This is what it's called in Clip Studio. I'm actually not quite sure if that's what it's called in other programs, but like it's literally called like add and then parentheses glow. I'm not quite sure what the huge difference is between add and add glow, but I always use add glow for lighting. So I did that for the lamp light. So I wanted the light source to come from the lamp. So even though you can't see the lamp, that's technically where the light source is coming from. So I wouldn't say, I think I'm getting a lot better at coloring, but I definitely think I need to do a lot of lighting studies, because I'm not sure I would say like I'm very good at understanding lighting. Like I think I know enough that I can like get by in like basic drawings and stuff, but if I want like that like super pretty like rendering like lighting, like style, I definitely need to study lighting because I definitely don't think I'm amazing at it. I know part of it comes down to shapes, so I've been doing a lot of shape studies. I've definitely gotten better from the shape studies, but still definitely very hard overall. A very big challenge. But then after I did the cell shading, I think what I always notice is with cell shading, because you're only really using one color for everything, it can feel more flat, I guess. And that's something I noticed a lot when I saw the rendering of artists that use like different colors, more like a painterly style. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's not be lazy. Let's use this as a perfect chance to do an experiment. So then I was like, okay, so I basically just duplicated the entire drawing after I finished it. I duplicated the entire drawing into another folder, and then I went over where all the cell shading was and changed it. So if you've watched my art style study videos, and you know that a lot of artists will take like the base color, and when they want the shadow, they go down and to the right a little bit, and when they want the light, they go up and to the left a little bit, and sometimes they'll do some hue changes. Kuroshiro, the last art style study I did, he didn't do a hue shift really at all. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because I think that kind of helped make his drawing look more muted overall, which I really like. I really like the muted color look. So I decided to do that instead. So what I did was, because I'd already done all of the shading through cell shading, I didn't know what to call this, because I do have a poll running right now. You can go and vote for which one is your favorite, which one you prefer the outcome of. But since it's not, I don't think I would really count it as painterly, because I didn't really do any painting that much like over the line art, just like some really small things here and there, but honestly, not really. But because of that, it's like, I don't think it technically counts as cell shading, because it's not exactly the same as cell shading. Like, it's not using the multiply layers, but I don't know if that's mandatory for it to be considered cell shading. So since I'd already done the cell shading, it was very easy for me to just go in and like adjust the colors, since I didn't have to think about where the shadows would go anymore. I kind of already knew. But yeah, I definitely like the way, I like how both came out. honestly don't know which one I prefer. The cell shading is, of course, obviously just a lot easier. And so far, the base cell shading one is the one that's actually winning the votes. But I don't know. There's something about like the non-cell shading version, or I guess maybe cell shading, but a different way of doing it. Like, I feel like it just like looks more like colorful, I guess. Like, it looks more alive, maybe? I'm honestly not quite sure. I don't know how to feel about it. There's definitely areas where like his face, where I added the shadow at the top of his face and stuff, it definitely is darker in the cell shaded, so I probably could have gone with the darker color here for the other one. And also I think I forgot to convert, or well, I don't know, I mean, like, it looks kind of cool, but I feel like, I don't know, like, overall I think like it looks interesting. I'm just really not sure which one I prefer. I'm pretty conflicted. I really like both. I think both look really cool. And then for his face, I've been doing this thing where Blue Biscuits does this thing where she takes an airbrush and then using an overlay layer with like an orangey color, she brushes it over. She says that I think in a video she said that she does it over like anything she wants to like draw attention to. But 9 times out of 10 that's really just like the face. So I use that now. I've actually been really enjoying doing that, where I use that method to do it over the face to bring some extra attention to the face. But because it is like the entire color scheme is just very like blue and purple, it felt a little out of place. So I then tried to use the color blue instead, and that worked. Like, it felt like it fit the color scheme more, but it definitely felt a little weird. I don't know, like it almost like washed them out or something. So instead, what I did was I ended up using one overlay for the orangey color and one overlay for the blue color, and then I just messed with their overlay percentages, or the opacity percentages. So the blue overlay is stronger than the orange overlay. The blue overlay is like, I think it was like around 40-45% or something, and the orange overlay was like around 20%. But I really like it because I feel like it was a nice balance between the two. I really like how everything came out, especially his hair. I did a gradient for his hair, and I really like how the gradient came out. I really like how the highlights for his hair came out. Like, I just really like the way his hair came out. Like, this is how I want my character's hair to look. Like, it looks so good. And I'm like, now if only I could replicate this style of drawing hair all the time. It would look so nice. So this is what I really want to be able to replicate it one day, but I'm definitely not at that skill level yet, but I'm bringing pretty close. For his eyes, normally I usually go with more detailed eyes, but Flynn's eyes is interestingly very basic, which I say interestingly because most of Genshin's eyes are very detailed. Like, they have a lot of stuff going on, but Flynn's eyes is very much more basic, you know? I feel like it honestly suits his character really well, so like I understand why it's a lot more simplified or whatever. I think they look really good. I tried adding the I don't know what to call them. In the video I called them eye bags. In my Kirishiro video I called them eye bags. I don't think they're necessarily supposed to be eye bags since he does it like all the time, but these little lines like under the eyes and stuff, it came out pretty interesting. I definitely like it. I'm not 100% sure if I would do it for like every drawing, because on the one hand the way he does it looks super good, but at least for now when I do it, it definitely comes off primarily as eye bags. Like, when I look at it, I feel like for Flynn it like works out fine because he's like supposed to be like tired all the time and stuff. I just feel like it fits his character or whatever, so like that's fine. But it's definitely something I'll have to like experiment more with in the future. But yeah, I definitely tried bringing that in over here. Sometimes I've been messing with the idea of including like those little eyelashes, I think, that Kuroshiro adds at the bottom of his eyes. I didn't do it here. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna do it all the time or something, but it is something I'm messing with. For his eyes, I also added this little like red line. I think it's supposed to be something called the waterline, which I learned from makeup TikTok or makeup videos, but I think it's like literally like the waterline. I don't know. I think that's what the red line is supposed to represent. I don't think I've studied an artist on this video that uses this method, but there is an artist I like that I do notice that they always put like this red line under their eyes, and in this piece I really like the way it came out. I don't know if I like always like the way it looks, but I think like it looked really good for this piece. Looks really good on him. I also took some methods from TBHK and Blue Biscuits, and I added some color to the eyebrow, or well, not the eyebrow, like the eyelids, like the top part of the eye. It's probably like very barely noticeable, but I think it came out pretty nice. It's where you add like a little bit of color. So the top part and like the pointed part on the side where it's all like black, you go in and you add color on top. So in TBHK, I think like they used primarily like a reddish color. But again, since this color scheme is blue, I went with a blue color instead. And honestly, I really like the way it came out. Most of this, by the way, is done, like the line art is done with the Softify brush I mentioned. What was it called? Yeah, sort of Softify brush I mentioned. For the actual coloring, I use a brush called Day Ink, but it's literally just a hard round brush with like, like tapered edges or whatever. That's literally it. There's really nothing fancy about it. And then for some bits, like the bags under his eyes and the little blue bits that I added to like his eyelids or whatever, that is done with a brush called soft paint, and it's just kind of like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a brush meant to kind of like replicate painting to a degree or something, but like it just gives it like a more softer look. So I used it there, so it's not like super hard. It's much more softer and things. I think that's the only place I used it. I don't think I really used it anywhere else. Yeah, now that I'm looking at the piece, I think I definitely just need to do like metal studies. I think I'm like not terrible at coloring in metals, but I definitely think I could be better. I don't think it gives off metal vibes per se. So I definitely think I need to study how to render in metals and things like that. And the hair, again, oh my god, I love the hair. I cannot get over the hair. I love the way it came out. It came out so good. But yeah, came out pretty cool. I'm really glad with the way it came out. I think the shading on his face could maybe use somewhere. I'm honestly not quite sure, but you know, it's good enough. And yeah, I definitely really like the way it came out. Let me know what you guys think is your favorite iteration out of all the ones I post. I might do another post where I include the different color schemes as well. But yeah, I'm thinking I kind of designed it with the intention of maybe turning it into a print in the future. I don't own an art shop right now or anything, but I would like to open up an art shop in the future, and having this one as a print would be pretty cool, especially since I'm really happy with how it came out. But also, I was thinking about turning it into a wallpaper for like your iPhone and stuff. So if that sounds interesting, let me know, because I definitely think this could make a nice wallpaper. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, okay, that's it. I mainly post character design videos. I want to be doing some more fan art videos now. I usually would post sketchbook videos, but I do want to start posting some more digital art videos, since I really do like digital art. I draw mainly on my iPad. So I definitely want to do more of those. It's Inktober, so I'm already behind, but that's fine. I'll have an Inktober video out every single Wednesday of October. So Inktober starts on a Wednesday, so it's perfect timing. So every Wednesday I will include a video for the, you know, days like 1 through 7, and then 8 through 14, whatever. And I'll include a video of me doing those or whatever. So that's fun. For Inktober, I did a challenge where I designed a character for like every single day of Inktober to like go with the prompt or whatever. So if any of that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe. I do usually post art style studies. I usually used to do it like every Friday, but it is Inktober and also just very busy time in my life. So I have pushed it down to every other Friday, which means that this Friday there will be an art style study on Tomatka. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, that's it. I am doing a special event for 1,000 subscriber goal. So make sure to also subscribe if that sounds interesting, because that's going to be done through a multitude of community posts. I'll make like an official post about it later, but it will be done through a lot of polls through the community post. I'm really excited to do it and to do it with everyone. I think it'll be so much fun. But yeah, if you like the video, make sure to give it a like. In the comments, let me know which one is your personal favorite, so I know which one I should go with, because I'm still not sure. But let me know what you guys like. And yeah, okay, that's it. Bye bye.